Hello. So this is going to be termed the GM's turn. Okay, so I've got loads of feedback from people who've watched the first few sessions now. Very grateful to all. I think there's like 22 of you now who've given me emails and comments and things, and very, very nice to see all that people are enjoying it. It's going to get better. It's going to get weirder as we go along as well. And it's going to get much more deadly for everybody. But moving on beyond that, as you've been able to see from the first few sessions, there is an army afoot in our session. Now, please forgive me because I'm recording this on my desktop, so you may be seeing things on my desktop, you may be seeing things on my YouTube, whatever. But you know, I know you're all intelligent people, you know, so not going to see anything weird, hopefully. But we're going to take a little delve in and do the GM's turn, because what's happening in our session is actually, let me just put the desktop on for a minute. So what we're doing in session, this is obviously the Lothane Valley where we are at the moment. Now, as you know, there is an army of Falkyr in the sessions who've been causing trouble in this part of the world, and the party have been running into them for the past 2 weeks. Things have been going pretty well, all in all, but also things have gone pretty poorly at certain times as well. With people, the machinations behind the scenes are starting to take effect on the party. So I thought now would be a good time to tell you everything that is going on with the enemies that we're going through here. So I'm not going to tell you everything about the enemies. But what I am going to show you is where the enemies are going, where we're going to be putting them, and things like that. And I think in future installments of this part of the series, I'm going to do this live. I'm going to stream it for everybody, so you can get involved and you can GM it with me. So you're telling me where the army's going to go. You're telling me who they're going to attack next, and that'll be what we tell the party in session. It's a living, breathing world essentially. But last session, obviously, something weird happened, and that was Nameless suggested that they go to Caledon, which you can see over here. So Caledon's in the Kingdom of Kale, which is an Elvish kingdom, the only one. It's the only Elvish kingdom in Albion. And so they were at Venmar. They travelled from here all the way up to Venmar to check it out. It's been burned, obviously, and now they've decided to go to Caledon. That will happen next session. But while they're gone, the people who burned Venmar, they're not staying idle. They're moving in, and they're moving in fast. Okay? So let's just edit this in Paint 3D. And again, this is only going to take a couple of minutes. I just wanted to show you what we're going to be doing. So, for me, obviously Venmar is up north here somewhere, right? So the army that we're talking about is actually called the Ashen Crows, and they are the main villains of this campaign, the Ashen Crows, and led by a man named Harkon. So, the Ashen Crows are coming into the into the Lothane Valley, because as you can see on the map, it's actually a separate valley from everywhere else. It's not under any king. They're not going to piss anyone off by coming down here. Let's look at the political map. Yeah, it's not covered by anyone. Yeah, it was covered by Venmar, who were kind of protecting it, and off screen they've come in and annihilated Venmar. Okay, he is leading a force. Okay, and that force, obviously, as I just said, is called the Ashen Crows. But Harkon is actually called the Reaver King. So he is and there's a man in history called Harold Hardrada, and Harold Hardrada was the last great Viking essentially, and he was a guard to the court of the Byzantine Emperor and the Varangian Guard, and he came home and he wasn't meant to be in the line of succession, but he came home and just took the Norwegian crown. And that is something very, very similar to what our friend Harkon has done as well. He has also come in and he has also he's attempting to take the Falkyr kingdoms from himself. Now the Falkyr kingdoms, or the Falcon kingdoms as we call them, they're actually a hodgepodge of different kingdoms that you will see on the next map over here, the political map of the world. They're up here in Shardland, places like that. the strength of those kingdoms is the fact that they are different kingdoms and no one can unite them. That's their main strength. That's why they're so resistant to invaders, because it's just so difficult to go in there and if you're facing one massive army, then you can sort of track it down and try and defeat it. Not so with the Falkia. We have so many different kings, and it's just so difficult to pin them down. And so he's gone home from Ramira. Okay, so the last empress of Ramira died a few years ago at this point. We're talking about 8-9 years ago. And one of her main bodyguards was this man, was Harkon. And he has returned home from Ramira to lay claim to the united Falcon Kingdom. So he wants them to be his. And they've essentially not ignored him, but he's fought his brothers and other kings there to a standstill, to the point where he needs to go, and he's getting more and more and more desperate to be the king of the Falkia, the first king ever to unite them under one single rule. He's desperate to do this, and so he started praying to darker gods. Anyway, the Falkia aren't really a god-fearing people, but Harkon has decided that he needs a patron to help him across the line, and the one that called out to him, remember. Now, I've got a few emails on why is Cthulhu a part of this world. Well, remember when I said all gods exist in this world. When I said all gods, I meant all gods. All gods exist in this world, or existed. Most of them are dead. The ones who aren't dead are either hiding, or they always have been hiding. So, and Cthulhu is one of those. I'm not sure whether we're going to call him Cthulhu in the setting. He may have another name, but what Harkon has turned his men into is essentially an army of Cthulhu-worshipping Reavers, Cthulhu-worshipping Vikings. They are extremely powerful. They are charged by Cthulhu's might, and even the lowest of champions in this order are extremely powerful. And Harkon himself is near god-blooded levels of power on the battlefield. In fact, he actually is god-blooded now that I think about it. So, he has sailed from the Falcon Kingdoms over here to Lethane, right? And he's trying to take the Lethane Valley for himself. And once he's done that, it's got so much resources that you can actually push out. It can take the Kingdom of Kale. You can come down here and start chewing up the Albion itself. And it is perfectly reasonable for our party to fail in protecting Northern Albion from this man. In fact, the decision that they made to go to Caledon, you may think this is harsh, but it was the wrong decision, and they will be punished for that down the line, because all the information they said was that the guys were coming here to Venmar and were going to raid south down here. They've already started raiding south. They've been encountering scouts down here for a long time, for the past 2 sessions at least. They've ignored that and gone to Caledon to see if they can get any news of this other fleet that's meant to be turning up. Now, that's a wrong decision, right? And I'm not going to punish people unfairly, but when you do make not silly decisions, but when you do make the wrong decision, the enemy will take advantage. And whilst they're gone, not that Harkon cares about these 3 guys, he's not even heard of them yet, but whilst they're gone, things are going to get worse in the Lethane Valley. And next time when they come back into the Lethane Valley, it's going to be burning. So let's do a little test run here of what's been going on. So, Harkon himself is not here yet, but White is the line of Winter. So, as you know, who Winter is, she is the one of the main seers of the Falkia and of Harkon himself. So she is going to be coming for. In fact, I think she's going to be in the mountains. I think she's going to be a shadowy warping presence in the mountains. So she has come down through here, okay, and this is where she is by the time of the session. Okay, she's here by the time of the session. That's where she is. So she's marched down here, and she's there. She has a couple of hundred men with her. She's marching through the mountains, and she's going to establish a stronghold down there in Kaladin. Okay, she's going to establish a stronghold there, and she will start reaving outwards the heartland. You see, near the Thane city itself. She'll start sending out reavers who are going to be absolutely annihilating things around here. So let me just, for the moment, let me just switch you off for just a second, just so I can go into my computer and get me a... It's how fun it's going to be going forward as well. You're going to be deciding where these guys are going, right? You're going to have a part to play in this session, in this entire thing. You're going to be deciding where these armies are going, what they're doing, who they're killing, why they're killing them. That's going to be all you after this session. So, let's show you this. Let's show you my... Let's show you my writing here. So we've got an opening synopsis, obviously. But these are the Ashen Crows of Baldur's Bay. And if you can see on this map, Baldur's Bay is oops, not this one. Baldur's Bay is up here on the right-hand side. That's one of the main port strongholds that they've got. And they're actually, where Harkon is right now, he's trying to take Thulby up here. And he will take it in 3 sessions' time. If the party don't do anything to stop him, or at least slow down his forces, he'll do it much sooner than that. He could do it at the end of next session, if they make the wrong decisions. And then he'll be here, and they don't want him here, trust me. He's a bit of a beast. So we've got Harkon, who's the Reaver King of the Ashen Crows. Okay, so he's going to be coming, he's the main leader. You have Winter, who's the White Hand of the Reaver King, so she's like a seer, his personal seer. You have Astrid Ravenhair, who's a blade of the Reaver King, so she is an assassin. We have Aulus Felix, who is a Riemann mercenary, so he's a companion who was with Harkon when he was protecting the Riemann Empress. You have Gnaeus Octavius Decimus. He is the main seer of the Ashen Crows. He is their main mage. Olaf One-Eye, he is dead. We saw him die in the very first session. The party killed him. And we have Hursk. Now, spoilers, the mayor of Brindle is actually allied with the Ashen Crows. Okay. I gave the party a little bit of a what's the word? A hint last time round. No, that was the case. Don't think they really picked up on it that well. So, things like that might not be going on pretty much. But, again, for now, we're going to have Astrid, who is black and grey. We'll give her grey. And she'll be coming down here. Down the road. And she is taking on Dragonfall Cross. Down there. So she's raiding that town, essentially. And in the session, she will be making her way across this bridge. Okay? That's what's happening in the next session. That's all I'm doing for now. Because I want you guys to take over this from the end of next session onwards. So, Harkon's not here yet. He will be pretty soon. But Astrid is coming down here. And Winter is coming over here to start infecting this land around here. Start preparing the way to take on Lethane. So that's it. That's all I wanted to go over. That's the GM's turn. Next time, we'll be streaming for an hour or 2. We're going to do much more about the GM's turn. Deciding if you guys want to inject your own characters into this, I've got no problem with doing that. If you want to do your own villains and things, that would be great. If you can send me some stuff, I would love to put them in. So let's see where they go. So, thanks for watching. Have a think about what you want to do, and I'll speak to you next time.